Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma in case we haven't met yet. Go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below. So I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma and joining me on my journey from offline brick and mortar businesses in the corporate world to the online world, which I gotta tell you a secret, they're very, very different. People like to think that they're the same and business is business no matter what. But there's a totally different mindset between the offline brick and mortar world and the corporate world and the brick and mortar world, big business and little business, totally different mindset. And then there's an entirely different set of circumstances and beliefs and thoughts and what works and what doesn't in the online world. And it's been a really fun, challenging journey. Today's actually day 325 of my journey into sharing my journey into the online world of business, because I was really struggling when I started, and I have been working on this more than 325 days, believe it or not, actually probably almost an entire year before I started documenting this journey. I have been trying to do things online, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what was the difference. You know, I had offline success in businesses, some successes, some failures. Of course, I had like 27 different things that I did over my many decades. I'm pretty old. So it's not like it was one a year or anything. I'm old. But I've had successes and I've had things that didn't work out or things that I decided that weren't right for me and I stopped doing in the offline brick and mortar and the corporate world. But in the online world, I've fallen into just about every trap or every wrong way of thinking that you can imagine as I've tried to grow my online businesses to the success level of my offline businesses and to create the life that I want, doing what I want, where I want, when I want, with whomever I want, in my pajamas or wearing whatever I want. That's my thing. That's what I'm all about right now, and probably for the rest of my life. And it's taken me a while to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But I discovered that just like the offline world of any business in any industry, the online world has an underlying framework of what it takes to be successful. And I wasn't paying attention to that framework for the first year. I was following shiny object syndrome. I was being dragged in all different directions. I got stuck in what I like to call the learning loop. And I don't like to be in the learning loop, but I'm a lifelong learner, so I thought that that was the way I should go. But this learning loop sucks us in, and every time we want to make a move, we think, oh, I just need to find out, I need to learn one more thing, so I'll just take this course, or I'll follow this guru, or I'll try this new strategy or tactic or technique. And as we're being not brainwashed, but as we're being mesmerized by all of these different shiny objects and things, we're losing sight of what it is that we really want. And so this year, as part of this documenting my journey, I said, no, I need to focus on applying what I know works and creating the business that I want. And then once I've done that and I've got that established and everything's in place that I know works and is working and cranking the way I want it to create the life that I want, then and only then can I be distracted by little tactics and ideas and things and shiny objects and new technologies, because there's some amazing new technologies coming out all the time. I took a course in augmented reality. I had no idea what augmented reality is, but it is an incredible way to improve your customer experience. And I had no idea what it was until I took a course in it. And here's the thing. It's totally not my wheelhouse. It's totally not something that I personally am going to do. I want to add it to my business, but I'm not going to be the one that does it. So for me to go off and take that course was a shiny object. And although it's really exciting and I love technology and things like that, I realized that that is one of those things that is leading me off the main trail of what I need to do. So to hold myself accountable, I started doing this daily, what's she up to now? And I'm documenting my journey from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world. So what am I working on? I am narrowing my focus, like I coach all my students to do, on a women's summit. I'm doing a women's summit, all women speakers for women business owners and female entrepreneurs. The first one's going to be in January. I originally planned to just do one summit for Supersize Your Business, and it was going to have like 10 speakers and be maybe a 1 or 2 or 3 day thing. Then I asked the question, and I knew I needed to narrow my audience down. I've been, I've been guilty of what doesn't work in any business, much less an online business, and it's especially ineffective in online businesses. The belief that everyone on the planet will want your product. And when I went through the ClickFunnels certification program, I didn't know this yet. And I just did it to learn the technology. And I created a whole product and a whole course and everything on stress. I spent like 7 months creating this incredible product, this incredible course and supplemental products about stress. Because in my lifetime, I've had to deal with and live through a lot of different stressful situations. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in our life and it's outside of our control, but we can always control ourselves. And so I wrote this great course on stress. I think it's a great course on stress. And guess what? Nobody bought it. Nobody wanted it. Nobody was interested in it because I didn't have a specific audience in mind. I wrote it and it's so general and so broad, it's not targeted for any one group of people or any one ideal client. Now, it should have been targeted towards someone just like me at the time have been going through all this stress in the past. But I didn't do that. I didn't know to target it. So I knew that I needed to narrow my focus and really hone in on who do I want to serve? Who do I want to work with? And I discovered that my whole life I've been working predominantly with men. And I'm like, I like working with men. I love men. Most of my coaching clients are men. Most of my consulting gigs are male-owned, male-dominated organizations and industries. But I'm like, I've always wanted to work with more women. I've worked with some amazing women in the past, but it's always been the vast minority of the people that I've gotten to interact with and work with. And so I asked the question in a group about a women's summit, and it got overwhelming positive response. And then I asked again about, who should it be for? Women that are established in their business or women just starting out? Again, overwhelming response was both. Well, that created the need for a much bigger summit than I had originally planned on. And then I asked, what topics are your biggest challenge? What are your biggest challenges in starting and growing and supersizing your business? Because I call growing your business supersizing your business. Now, supersizing doesn't mean it has to be a giant, huge business like McDonald's. It means whatever you define it to. And that changes over time. How I think of supersizing my business now is very, very different than how I would think of and define supersizing my business in the past, or different types of businesses in the past. That changes as we change because we get to define everything. I love that. That's what I love about having my own businesses. And so I wanted to narrow my focus down to women's. And this women's summit that started out as one small, maybe one day thing for me to practice on has turned into at least a 4 summit series that we'll be having. The first one will be in January. I'm thinking January, March, May, and I don't know about maybe July, or we might just skip the summer and go to September. I haven't decided yet. It depends. If we have enough topics, which I think we do, and enough speakers for 5 summits, I might make it a 5 thing and do 5 next year, which sounds really ambitious and scary, but I think the first one's always the hardest because that's the one that I determine and understand and define the processes and systems and things I need to put in place. So I think the first one will be the hardest, then the rest will just be plugging in the information, plugging in the assets, plugging in the photos of the speakers, and then doing the interviews of the speakers and getting those edited and put into the platform. But the platform will already have been established and the whole process will be laid out. So I love things that once they're successful, I can go ahead and repeat. Quarter century as a quality manager, I am all about processes, procedures, systems, automation. And if I have to do it more than once, I'm going to find a system or a way or a process to define it and automate it so that maybe I don't have to be the one that does it. Maybe I can teach someone else in my organization, delegate that, or maybe I can outsource that function. But I've already defined this is exactly the process that you use for doing this, step by step by step. Boom. And then once you define that process, other people with their amazing way of looking at the world can say, okay, yeah, I see that you do it this way, but what if you change step 3, 4, and 5 around? Guess what? You could do this 3 times faster, or you could get this much more reach, or whatever result that you would want. You can get that by continuously improving that process. So I'm all about processes and procedures and systems and strategies and plans. I'm an engineer, right? But I'm also about getting that framework in place. And then once that framework's in place, it's all about you adding you, the uniqueness of you, because that's all we can ever be is ourselves. But you adding you, that's the magic ingredient. That is the thing that brings your superpower to life. That is the thing that brings your business to life. That is the thing, the driving force, the rocket fuel for supersizing your business and any business. So, working on the Women's Summit, obviously today, I actually had two really cool things happen yesterday. Two very big influencers reached out to me yesterday about the Women's Summit and said, hey, what can I do to help? I want to help you. So how cool is that? And that's what led me to title this, Ask and Answers Show Up. I have never done a Women's Summit before. I've never done any kind of summit before. I've been a guest on summits. I have done events and projects in the offline brick and mortar world. I guess a webinar might be considered an event. So I've done events online, but I've never, and I've been interviewing people for my podcast for probably 5 months. So, and I was actually in journalism when I was in high school. I started to be in journalism. I actually started in journalism in college, and that's one industry I will admit I am so glad that I didn't stick with, and I changed my major and went into engineering instead. Only because the way the world has changed with respect to journalism. Journalism is no longer journalism. Journalism is entertainment. The news, it's entertainment. It's as bad as reality TV. Yes, I said that out loud. I guess if you don't agree with me, you can go ahead and unfriend me because I just think it's pretty humorous. So, two influencers, people that are way more amazing than I am with respect to their reach in the planet. I mean, we're all amazing human beings, but with respect to reach on the planet, excuse me, that made my nose itch. Reached out to me yesterday. That was awesome. And then this morning I woke up to an amazing woman asking me if I would be part of her book and her project. And that just made my heart happy because I fly under the radar and I play pretty low key. So I was excited to participate and help her out in any way that I can. So I'm working on that today. I am still on radio silence, meaning I have no Wi-Fi where I am for the next couple of days. And I will tell you, yesterday I was going bat poop crazy. I cleaned everything I could clean. I did laundry. I did dishes. I cooked. I did all kinds of things. I read a book. I'll probably read another book today with my magnifying glass. It takes a while, but I still like to read. But there's going to be a huge rush of my videos come the day that I get my Wi-Fi back because I am still producing my videos. I'm still creating my content. It'll just all come out at the same, probably all come out the same day. So maybe people will unfriend me then. But you know what? You don't have to watch them all. Just pick and choose what you want to watch. Listen to what you want to listen to. It's called free will. You can never watch me. You know, no one has to watch me, but you can watch what you want. And I think it's valuable to share what's working for me and what's not working. I know that I still need to do some reaching out to people on my Dream 100. I actually did not do that yesterday because I don't have any Wi-Fi. And that's my excuse. Now I can grab my phone and message people, which is probably what I'll do today. Maybe I'll commit right now to, I'm going to reach out to 3 influencers today. There we go. I'm going to reach out to 3 influencers today that I would love to be a part of. I'm just going to work on this first summit, even though there's 4. I'm only going to pick 3 influencers that would be great for this first summit about customers. I'm going to look at the topics and everything that's covered by the speakers already. I'm going to say, okay, what hole is there here? What else do we need to make sure that the women that listen to this summit get absolutely everything they could possibly want with respect to customer handling for their business? And I'll see where those holes are. And then I'll ask myself, who are the experts in that area? And I will reach out. I will just send them a video message on my phone because I don't need Wi-Fi to do that. Yay! Problem solved, right? Ask, and the answer shows up. Usually when I ask it out loud, but I'm not very good at asking. I'm getting better at it. So anything I can help you with, go ahead and ask me, put it in the comments below, or message me. I am here for you as I figure this out, figure it out with me, and let's make the world a better place together. That's it. Have a fantastic day. I will be with you tomorrow. Bye. Jam out.